want to make it a little bit quick. We won't, whoops, I think she accidentally got kicked out. We won't go too long. Uh-oh, here my echo. All right, so, all right, before we even jump into that, you got any questions, Calvin, about anything you and Rachel or anybody been working on?
No, not at the moment. Everything been pretty much straightforward. If we've had questions, we've definitely gone back into the CompTIA study guide. I'm getting more clarification from that. So we're pretty much all caught up and straight for it.
Okay. All right, here she goes. Let her back in. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into what we have planned for today. It's just going to be another box. It's just a very beginner-friendly box that we're going to try to compromise. So I'm going to be picking on you, Calvin, and Miss Desi to help me with a few things here. All right, so before we get started, let's make sure we actually have access to it. What's the IP again? It's 95. All right, so we do have access. We're pinging it. We're getting ping responses back. Right, so got some more people in the lobby. Here we go. All right, we have connection to the box. So Calvin, what do you think we should do next if we are trying to hack this thing?
So you've already pinged it.
Yep.
Now you should try to something with the permissions.
I can't get there yet. I don't have that much power just yet.
You have to escalate your privileges.
Before escalating privileges, what do we got to do? First thing we have to do. And feel free to help them out, y'all.
Please.
Scans. Yep. We want to kick off some scans. So we're going to kick off, we'll kick off an Nmap scan. So we'll do Nmap. The -PN is just telling Nmap not to ping the box. We don't want to let them know that we're scanning them, kind of, sort of. And then what type of scan? Feel free to ask any questions if you have some. This is going to tell Nmap to do a version scan. The S uppercase V. What else do we want to do?
Oh, so you could tell it to do more than one scan at a time?
Yeah, you can tell it to do more than one thing. So that's a version scan. I can also tell it to do a vulnerability scan, which is this SC for bone scripts. I think that's how it goes. I haven't typed out an Nmap scan in a while now. I usually use my script. Version, scripts, bone, IP. Let's just, we'll let it run. And we only want the open ports.
Question.
Yep.
Are the destination hosts alerted to these scans? Like even if you did like a quiet scan or passive scan?
That is a dope question right there. I like that. So they can be. That's exactly why I said kind of, sort of, because they're still alerted. Because if we ran these scans and let's just do it. If we run these scans and run TCP dump at the same time, right? I need to do this again. I don't remember how to do this. But if we run this at the same time, you'll see all those scans running. Can my Ethernet see that? I don't think it can see that. We'll do that later. I don't want to get too distracted because running TCP dump. If we run it at the same time and run our as the Nmap scans, we'll see all the results coming back. And it'll be pretty noisy, especially if we do a version scan, right? Or if we did a vulnerability scan, it'll be noisy, meaning it'll be a lot of traffic coming through TCP dump.
Okay.
As soon as we get through this, I'll try to kick it off. But yeah, we ran that Nmap scan and it says port 8080 is open, right? This looks like some type of HTTP service. Somebody else is in the lobby. 1 second. All right. Looks like some type of HTTP service, right? So what do you think we should do? We have this port 8080. What would you do with it if it's some type of HTTP service? Would you try to browse to it? See what's on the web page over there? Something like 10.10.10. What's the IP? 95. And then 8080. And this is what we get. We are on some type of default homepage for Apache. This is a type of web service. All right. This is a type of web service that allows us to host different web pages and websites. This is the default homepage for it. All right. So we already get some information about the type of service. It's an Apache web service. We see the exact version number. We can even Google this to find exploits, and I'm pretty sure there will be some against this because it's pretty old. But if we just started browsing around this website, right, because we're kind of in between recon and enumeration, right? We're still trying to get some more information out of here. So you want to click around all these different buttons. This manager button app looks pretty fishy, and it's asking for a username and password. Right, we don't have any username and password, but let's just type admin and see what that does. And it brings us over to an error message. And this goes back to your question earlier, to one of your questions, Calvin, that you have posted. All right, we get this error message, but look at what it's telling us.
That's a lot of information.
That's a lot of information. They are telling us that there's an example, right? This is an example of how to map users to a row. Okay, and if you have a user with the name of Tomcat and the password secret, right, they can do X, Y, and Z. So let's try that as a username and password. Let's see what it does. Let me copy this, right? And if this didn't work, it's gonna work. But if this didn't work, what I would have done is Googled Apache Tomcat 7.88 default credentials, right? And we don't know if it's going to work, but might as well try them. And look at this.
Tomcat secret.
Yep. So let's go ahead and try it. Refresh the page. Why is it still doing that? Server status button. We'll come back here. That looks. All right. So it was Tomcat secret. Huh, that didn't work. Let's try it again. Well, let's open up another browser. Let's move this over here. HTTP 10.10.10.95 8080 manager app. Tomcat. Let me make sure that's spelled right. Yep. Okay. There we go. Now we are logged in to Tomcat's Web Application Manager. This is a type of, well, this is a service that Tomcat provides. It can provide, it can host different applications online for you, right? Just like it can host a website for you. You can use this Web Application Manager to host different applications or web pages, whatever you want, Java applications, whatever you wanted to upload. So here are a few applications that they have uploaded, such as this manager app that we're using now, right? We're able to use this because it's been configured to run, right? Here's some other apps or some other endpoints that can be served by this application manager. And if we just keep scrolling down, we have options to upload our own app, right? A WAR file. This is just a combination of different Java files or jar files that you use to make an application, like a Java application. So a WAR file is like it's just a bunch of, or a collection of jar files, right? So what we can do here is upload our own jar file. But how about we, instead of uploading a legitimate jar file, we can upload something malicious, right? Like something that's going to give us a shell, a reverse shell, or a reverse connection back to this system. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to create a payload with MSF Venom. Then we're going to upload it into here, select browse, deploy it, and try to execute it like one of these over here and see if we get a shell back. So let's go ahead and give that a try. We first need to create that payload with MSF Venom.
Hey Toby, when you mentioned payload, is that like a script?
Not really. It's I guess the concept kind of sort of, because it's doing something, but it's just a bunch of, here, I'll show it to you. What is my IP address? I'm gonna show you. It's just a bunch of code. Acts like a script, but I guess it's kind of the same thing. Port equals 3. And I'll explain what we're doing here. Let me get it out of my head. 4-0. Because we need a war file. Show that war. All right, so actually, let me show you this. So I'm not going to save it to a file. All right, but before I hit enter, we're using MSF Venom. MSF Venom, you can use this to create a variety of different payloads. Right? You've seen us use it several times. This time we're using it to create a Java reverse shell. Sorry, I had a brain fart. All right, and we're going to have the format of this file be a WAR file because that's what we need to upload into this manager app, right? The local port that we wanted to connect back to after you click it, it's going to be 443. We're going to open up this port on our box in a minute. The local machine that we wanted to connect back to is us, of course. And now I'm going to hit enter so you can see what the payload looks like. Typically, we would put it inside of a file, but I want you to see it. This is what it is.
This is how you would do like a water hole attack too. Sort of similar.
Kind of, sort of. With this attack vector, possibly, yeah, for sure. Like if you had access back here, you could do exactly what we're about to do. Yeah. Yep, you can do exactly what we're about to do and just host it for other people on the network to access it, right? Maybe send some type of persuasive email, combine a phishing attack with it, but this would be a vulnerable medium that people would connect to. So this is the payload right here, right? Just a bunch, I didn't know how to explain it. So let me see, what do we do? All right, so let's go ahead and put it inside of a file now. We'll call it shell.war because we want to upload that, upload all of this in here. So we have it downloaded, it's shell.war, where we have it saved to this file. Okay, we have it as a war format because this is uploading war files. I don't know if it'll upload something else. We could try it. Let's see if it'll take it. Maybe it has some input validation. It didn't take it.
Yeah, it's that message up top. Scroll back up. Yeah, it said fail upload.
See, yep, must be a .war file. Good eye. So here we go, let's upload this. And that's because they have some type of validation script in the background. So we'll hit deploy, scroll down, here it is. But before we click that, we have to start up a listener. What port did we use? I think it was 443. So we are using netcat to open up a port, L's to listen, right? Listen to open up the port. V verbose give us information, and we don't want the DNS resolution. P for port 443. This read line wrap is just to make this session a little bit more easier to use without getting too technical. All right, so now we're listening on port 443, meaning we have this open now, right? If we did a netstat, should be able to see that, right? Netstat shows us our open active connections open port. So we see 443 open right now. So now let's go ahead and click this. All right, once we click it, look what we get back. We get shell back. And who are we? We have system level access. System level access is the highest on a Windows operating system. All right, so from here, we're pretty much root. We have the keys to the castle. We can create accounts, open up other ports, transfer other files, maybe a rootkit, maybe some other packages that we want to transport over here, maybe netcat, install Python, whatever we want to do, we can do that now. Any questions, y'all?
No real question, but this whole world is wild and crazy still to me.
Yeah, man.
So you literally could do that, get into the backdoor somebody's web application, put in your own thing, and then get all the information at the end of the day. I make it look completely normal.
Yeah. And so how can we fix what just happened here? Let's take our steps back, right? AAR, after action report, lesson learned. Based off of how we just compromised this machine, you all are the security professionals right now. All right, we need your guidance to prevent something like this from happening again in the future. So what's one thing that you would recommend? And go all the way back to how we even got here.
I would change the username and password if possible, an actual Tomcat.
Good job. We want to change that username and password because those are default credentials.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's a misconfiguration, right? Default credentials. Why is that a misconfiguration? Why is that a vulnerability? Because we can Google it. Everybody's going to have it. What else? What else?
We do, so the error handling, we got to make it give less information.
Error handling. what did we get from that? What type of
We actually,
information?
we actually got how to find the username and password and what it could have been and what level it would have brought us to.
Right. They showed us how to map the users to a role. They even gave us the credentials. We didn't have to go to Google. It was there. Right.
Close the port.
Well, they need that port open
Okay.
with this service. So I wouldn't necessarily close it. Maybe set up some type of authentication or VPN to access that so only authorized people can. That would help. What was
Can
that?
you, because it was HTTP, can you make it HTTPS?
Yep. That's another thing. Good job. Right. Certificates. Right. Certificates. And you can even implement this on the client end and the server side, right? Where the user has a certificate and you're doing mutual authentication. It's a good job. I think another one we want to do is upgrade that version of Tomcat.
That too.
And that was a pretty old version. Right. Right, we're on 10. This is using Tomcat 7. And if we look for Tomcat 7.0 point, I think it was 88 exploits. I mean, there's a bunch of exploits out there for Tomcat 7. So we definitely want to try to update that. Right, and if doing those things, I think we could have prevented our attack methods that we just did. Maybe there are more that we're missing, but I think we covered the main holes. Any other questions, y'all?
I do got questions, but they're not in with this, with us with us getting into Tomcat using a .war backdoor file. I think, is that what it would be called?
Say that one more time.
Like a .war backdoor file?
Yeah,
Or,
the .war file.
yeah. Okay.
What about it again?
Now I was asking if that's what this would generally be called.
What, this attack?
Yeah.
So not really. So I mean, this attack was really just, all right, so let's start over. The .war file is not really a malicious file. Ours is, right? In general, a .war is not malicious. In general, a .war is just a collection here. It's a collection of jar files. Right, it's just a bunch of different jar files, and jar files are what you can use to make Java applications, right? With a bunch of other things, but you're using these files to make applications. So think of a war file as a container, because a container, you're putting all the files and scripts, code that you need for an application to run inside of a container, right? A folder. It's what a war file is, but it's just Java stuff. Okay, and so we made a malicious one though, right? Ours was malicious. So this is really just we created some type of malware or a reverse shell and executed it, right? I don't know what we would really call that. Because I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to, it sounds like you're trying to categorize it, and it can fit in many categories, right?
Okay.
Based off of the characteristics and what we did with it. It's malicious though.
That's all we need to know. You got it. I got it.
Yeah, I did a good job though. Hey, y'all keep studying. Let me know if y'all have any questions while you're studying.
I do.
Sassy, please feel free to join their study sessions. They do it in the mornings as well. And well, Calvin, you can tell her.
Yeah, mornings at Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. And then 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday, so 10 a.m., 8 p.m. And then Fridays we just do 10 a.m. But then also they study hall at 3:30 p.m. on Fridays, on Saturdays, Eastern Standard Time.
Yep. So if you all have time, hop on the Discord, jump in there with them. It's always better to study together than it is alone. But all right, y'all, I'm going to let you all go. If there are no other questions, please stay safe. Hold on to your loved ones. Let them know that you love them. And I will see you all next week.
I got a few about commands, Linux commands in particular. So we had a question asking about during a security assessment, a security, I guess, analyst finds a file with overly permissive permissions. Which of the following tools will allow the analyst to reduce the permissions for the existing users and groups and remove the set user ID from file? The ones we could select from are 1A, CH flags, Chmod, LS off, and set UID. So I chose Chmod because that's the one that we know can change the access permission of file system objects, right? But it told us that it was LSOF, which was, I guess, LSOF is list open files.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to know if there's any truth to that, and what more should we know if that is the actual case. If it's not Chmod and it's LS off, OF.
I gotta see that question because it sounds like it should be Chmod.
Yeah, it's 216, number 216.
Okay. Send that to me on Discord.
Got it.
And I'll check it out. But yeah, it sounds like a Chmod answer.
Yeah. But then if is what is 1A? Because I even tried to Google it and I could not find it.
You said what is what? 1A?
Yeah. Well, let me just send you the
Yeah, send it to me so I can see it.
Gotcha.
And then I'll be able to play around with it, see what's what, decipher it. But that sounds like a Chmod question. Here, I won't keep everybody else waiting. I'm gonna shut this one down. Send it over to me.
All right.
I'll take a look at it. Everybody on YouTube, y'all, thank you for joining us. Y'all have a good night. Make sure to smash the like button if you enjoyed what we had going on here. And I will see everybody else next week. Good night, good night, good night. Peace.
Good night. Gotcha, Toby.
All right, man. Peace out.
Night.
Have a good night.